Hello YouTube, welcome back to yet another exciting video. Nothing says special events like the presence of flowers. For centuries, flowers have been present on almost every occasion, from engagements to even burials. Though we give out flower gifts on occasion, it's no surprise that most of us don't know flowers from one another. Today, we're going to list some fascinating flowers that you've probably never heard of. From flowers that resemble lips to those that resemble monkeys. Watch to the end to be shocked by these 10 rare and amazing flowers you won't believe that exist. Number 10. Titanarum. Ooh, what's that smell? Spoiled eggs maybe? Dirty laundry? Rotten flesh, perhaps? Would you believe us if we told you that that smell came from a flower? Yeah, it's hard for me to believe too. The Titanarum, also known as the corpse flower, is technically an inflorescence. From its name, you don't have to wonder what it smells like. It smells just like that, a corpse. Have we mentioned that apart from its smell, the flower is also huge? The largest specimens were over 10 feet tall. It's considered one of the largest plants in the world. The most outstanding feature is the fact that it blooms only once every 4 to 10 years. If you're wondering why it produces such a smell, it's to attract a specific kind of insect that helps pollinate the flower. Why would an insect be attracted by such a smell? Well, that's a story for another day. Number 9. Bumblebee orchid. The further east you travel, the less likely you are to see the bumblebee orchid. This is because it's found through the Mediterranean region, but more numerous in the west. The binomial name of this flower is Ophrys bombuliflora, which of the Ophrys is a Greek name referring to the hairy lips of the flower, and the bombuliflora referring to the appearance of the flower, which can resemble a bumblebee. The bumblebee orchid is quite a short plant. It grows up to 35 centimeters in height. This plant uses the act of deception to help in pollination. How does it work? Well, its petals are shaped and colored like a visiting bee, while the sepals look like wings. At first glance, you might think it's a bee, especially with the furry brown lips and yellow markings that seem to shout the word bee. And if that's not enough, the deception goes further, emitting a female bee scent. This mimicry aims to attract passing male bees and tricking them into trying to mate, which will aid pollination. Number 8. Bat-faced CUPHEA. CUPHEA yavea is also referred to as bat-faced CUPHEA because of its unique flower shape that resembles a bat. It's one of about 260 species of CUPHEAs in the Leuctrae family and is native to Mexico. The plant blooms from the late springs to the early frosts. The red ear-like petals and purple calyx, together with the flower's rich nectar, attract butterflies, hummingbirds, and other pollinators. CUPHEA yavea is easy to grow, just in case you need an extra sunny garden bed. The bat face could be a real conversation piece to cheer up your guest. Number 7. Darwin's slipper. You might mistake these little flowers for little orange penguins marching over the rocks, or a slipper, especially because of its slipper-shaped blooms. I mean, look at this shoe and look at this flower. Its binomial name is Calceolera uniflora, and were discovered by none other than Charles Darwin himself. The plant is a mountain plant that grows only to 10 centimeters long. They survive in cool climates and are mostly found in South America and Mexico, though with just the right temperature, you can plant them anywhere in the world. In short, just imitate its native home. If you're looking to get these seeds to plant in your garden, make sure you trust the seller, as it is rare to find genuine seeds for sale. Number 6. Hot lips. Salvia microphylla, also known as hot lips, is a distinctive, varying solid red flower that resembles the shape of human lips. During spring and fall, the color is bicolored red and white, while solid red during hot seasons. Hot lips flowers don't need help in pollination, since they already attract bees and pollinators without any effort. Apart from that, the plant has a yummy blackcurrant aroma when you crush it or just brush past. The combination of the sweet aroma and the lips bring out a very welcoming feeling, making it a perfect flower to plant near a bench or path, where you'd get to enjoy it as a whole. Number 5. Orchid. Orchids are some of the most commonly grown houseplants in the world, and have almost 1,000 genera and more than 25,000 species. Looking at this diverse family of flowering plants, It's no doubt that they're often colorful and fragrant. Being a plant that's grown in almost every home, it's obviously not that hard to grow. The easiest orchid to grow is the Phalaenopsis. If you're a beginner in home growing, then you better start with this kind. It's known as a beginner's best friend because they grow in low light and they don't require extreme humidity unlike the others. Provided orchids are kept under proper growing conditions, it isn't difficult to learn how to grow them properly. Over centuries, they've been known to make excellent accent plantings to nearly any home decor. Number 4. True Rose of Jericho. The name of this plant makes it look like a story out of the Bible, but this isn't the case. It's known for its ability to survive during dry weather. The Rose of Jericho, also known as the resurrection plant, come in 2 types, the True Rose of Jericho and the Fake Rose of Jericho. The difference between them is that the True Rose of Jericho is native to Western Asia, while the False Rose of Jericho is native to the Chihuahuan Desert of the United States and Mexico. The True Rose of Jericho is also the only species of the genus Anastatica of the mustard family, while the False Rose of Jericho is a member of the spike moss family. During dry seasons, the True Rose of Jericho curls its branches and seed pods inwards, forming a ball that only opens when it's soaked in water, thereby resurrecting and its leaves spreading, becoming a normal green plant that's 30 centimeters long. Number 3. Monkey Orchid. Who said Mother Nature didn't have a sense of humor? I mean, look at this flower and tell me if you don't find it funny. The Dracula orchid Simia is part of a family with more than 110 different varieties, and is more often referred to by its normal name, which is orchid monkey. We'll talk about the different varieties in just a few. Its native land is the tropical highland forests of southeastern Ecuador, so if you want to see these quirky plants in their natural environment, be prepared for a hike. Despite their uncanny resemblance to our ancestral cousins, when they bloom, the flowers are fragrant with a scent of ripe orange. The best part is that they can bloom during any season at any time. For home planting, they require cool temperatures, partial shade, and lots of attention. The results of orange-scented cute monkey face flowers in your garden are very heartwarming. Number 2. Naked Man Orchid. First of all, no, they're not photoshopped or anything of that sort. It's just 2 photos placed on one. We've already talked about the monkey orchid, and we did say that the monkey orchid is part of a family with more than 110 different varieties. Consider this photo a family photo where a monkey orchid is next to his cousin, Naked Man Orchid. I mean, it does look like a man. Now let's talk about the man on the left, shall we? The Naked Man Orchid's binomial name is Orchis italica. The genus name Orchis means testicles, a reference to the twin tubers of orchids in this genus, while the italic means Italian and refers to where this species comes from, Italy. It grows up to 50 centimeters in height, and it used to be a relatively common orchid, found in the Middle East, Cyprus, Malta, Turkey, Italy, and Spain, but since 1920 has become harder to find. Number 1. The Magnolia Lily. Lily Magnolia is the largest and most beautiful deciduous shrub that takes 10 to 15 years to reach its full maturity. The small tree has found popularity as both a front yard foundation shrub and a specimen plant. In Asian countries, the magnolia lily is used as a source of color in Asian gardens. For best results, it's best grown in organically rich, medium moisture, and well-drained soils in full sun to part shade to protect it from strong winds. According to Japanese tradition, the flowers of this plant, together with the unopened flower buds, were used medicinally, primarily for sinus issues, allergic rhinitis, and colds. Now that's amazing. Just a funny thought, but could you imagine receiving a bouquet of some naked man orchids? See you next time.